Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in too. Before we get started, today is Veterans Day, so I do want to send out a very heartfelt thanks to all of the veterans out there. If you are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play. I know there are so many choices out there, and I appreciate you giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see. Hit like and subscribe, and let's just stitch together. And if you are a regular returning stitching friend, thank you so much for all of your support, and as always, letting me ramble on about stitching. Words are going to be interesting this morning. I woke up at 4 and I never went back to sleep. And I was particularly peppy at about 7 o'clock this morning. If I had been ready, I probably should have filmed then. Now it's 9:30, and as I've gotten my day going, now I'm getting a little sleepy, so I will do my best not to stumble over my words too much. It doesn't help that it's a funny light today. I actually have my overhead lights on to see if I can fix that. It's cloudy and the rain has started here. We're getting the remnants of Nicole. Oh, the pictures. I hope everybody in Florida is okay. We're not going to get, anything near as bad. Some wind gusts, thunderstorms, that kind of thing potentially. So it's started now, but it's good and dreary. So it's good like napping. Well, I don't nap well. I like to say it's good napping weather, but I'm not a good napper. But it will make me sleepy, so I'll do the best I can. Next thing you know, this afternoon I'll be stitching, and next I'll fall asleep with a needle in my hand or something. Okay, we have lots of projects today, some of which had a little bit of work done on them, 200 to 300 stitches or so. I like this. I never was a stitch counter, but I find I actually kind of enjoy it a little bit. I don't keep like big old spreadsheets or anything like that. It's kind of nice to see, and I like to have some goals for some of my patterns, in order to get some progress. Some of them got good 500 stitches in, and it doesn't look like it. And then I did the same piece twice as a start and a finish in 2 different fabrics. You know how much I like to do that. So I have a little bit of that thrown too. So let's just jump in and see all of the different things that I've worked on. This first one is Thanksgiving quote with sunflower. Now, if you'd like to see it completely finished on a beautiful pink fabric, I want you to jump over to see Judy over at is it an Aussie Stitching in a Kiwi World? I'm pretty sure that's the name. It'll be linked. I'll link her down below. So all you have to do is look down below. Judy finished that, and like I said, she did it on a beautiful pink fabric. Pink and brown is a gorgeous color combination. It is one that I have always liked. I also like the blue and brown, which is how I chose the blue when I saw it. But it's beautiful. I would suggest going over there and checking out what hers looks like, because I really, really like it. And she was the one that introduced me to that pattern, and I had to immediately go on over. It is from Luba, Davies, Atelier, linked down below. So if you go to the description box, I talk about all of my patterns, and I usually list the fabrics I've used. Actually, I do always list, unless I don't know what it's called. I'll just say unknown. But I list all the fabrics. I list any changes I may have made. Something like this, I will link to their Etsy shop. And then when I talk about floss tubers or different people, if you scroll down farther down, I have a section where I just list anybody I've talked about. And again, I think you can just click on that, because I'll say at so-and-so, or if I can't do that, I'll give a link. And I think you can just click that on. But so Judy's is in pink, mine is in blue. So this is what mine looks like. I'm gonna try to sit on the chair a little bit over to the side here. What is it? It is 18 count Dive In from Bestitchme. I want to say that this was a fabric of the month, and it's out. It's bright. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some people are gonna look at it and say, "Oof, what can I do?" So many fun things you can do, but I think it looks good. This does look good on this. So this one didn't get a ton of time. I did finish up. I wanted to finish this, so I finished all that up, and then I really concentrated on all of the line of, I still have, let's see, if I look at the pattern, that might be, those two are filled in, and I want to say this one that's going to show up here is an unfilled in leaf, and then all I have, or petal, everything else then I would have is letters. So I'm getting there. I like doing this if I can, because then fill-in is nice and easy. Counting was hard for me this week, and I think that's why in some of the cases I don't know if that's why this one kind of got put away. I was definitely, I think I had to rip something out, or I was going in the wrong direction with it, but definitely I found myself, do you find yourself sometimes, because a lot of times I'll double check just to make sure, but I was triple and quadruply checking, and sometimes I was just, I wasn't seeing it. So when you're having trouble counted cross stitches can be a little bit challenging, but this will be nice and easy here. I think the swirly of the G for Grateful Heart will be right here. So that's kind of open, but that can be filled in. That'll be filled in, and this is just going to be an open. And the letters go pretty quick, so I think that should move along. A few more like good stitching sessions, I think, would do a good job with this. I did change the letters. They are a dark brown rather than the black that was charted, and in the description box I'll give you the exact, I want to say it's 3371, but I'm doubting myself this week, so it might be, it might not be. I don't necessarily have to get this one done for, like, say, Thanksgiving or whatever, which is really only, what, 2 weeks from yesterday. Oh my goodness. Especially because we're going to have a full house of people starting on Saturday before Thanksgiving, Saturday afternoon. So I'm not even sure. We'll see how much stitching time I get done as we get closer. I might need a break from everybody. So we'll see. But honestly, for this, I could see doing it any time, because it's begin each day with a grateful heart. So maybe by the end of the year, I think might be a nice goal for me with this one. All right. So that is the first one. I kind of moved, I'm trying to really do the final push for organization in here and clean the area. So what you see is sort of organized. This is not completely organized. I think I have ink pads and stuff. I'm going to get an ink pad holder, I've decided. I was doing some searching last night, and that's going to go up. You'll notice I moved markers. So the 2 sets of markers now, they're the artist markers. Those are next to each other. And then that's not going to stay that basket. And I'll put ink pads. I can't even do the finger thing. So I'll do that. And then that will clear up this, because I'm finding it's really difficult for me to look through all of the ink pads that way, because they're, you store them upside down. And so it's not efficient. I used to have some ink pad holders in Connecticut. I didn't bring them down with me. The one I had was a rotating one. It was big, it was bulky, it wasn't going to work down here. So I have to come up with a different solution. So once that's a little bit more organized, then I can finish organizing here. And then I still have to kind of work on that part of the room. But we're getting there. I think I've changed my idea. I want one shelf where I always said I wanted to go. I have another one that I want to go somewhere else. So I might put more to work this weekend. We'll see. Okay. All right, that was a little detour into my craft space that is not as organized as, yeah, if you were to look in that far corner, it's not organized. Okay, so I started this last week, and I worked on it through this week. It's my full coverage. I take 10 days for a full coverage piece, and today is day 10. So it'll get some time today, but I won't show it to you next week, because it'll literally be, what, 80 to 100 stitches of something where you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So it's Watching the World Go By. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's the mini Watching the World Go By. And the artist is Lucy Pittaway. As soon as I saw the colors between the reds and the oranges and the greens and then the blue sky, I love this one. I love her little sheep as it is, her little sheep pictures, but there was something about the colors that really drew me to this one. Of course, I am way up in the top, although you're going to start to see I did get some more of the greens in. So we're getting, oh my, I just did something, I don't know what. Let's do that instead. Okay. So here it is. This is the width. It's not huge. It's you know, it's a mini, and it's done on, this is an 18 count white Aida. It's 2 strands over 1 full cross. I'm going to fold it a little bit just to get a little bit better. So I did go a little bit farther here. I started to fill in more blue. There's so much blue up top that what I'm trying to do is, I think I spent one day, my day of stitching was just blue sky. But then I did, one day I started to do some more here. And then I also spent a lot of time starting to fill in the clouds. The clouds themselves, they're gorgeous, and I love how they really look coming alive. But there's a decent amount of different changes of colors, and some of them are the same, similar shades to each other. So it's been a little bit slow going there. But then too, what I would do is I would pick something here, then I'd go do a strand up here, and I keep going back because the sky kind of, let me see for a second. I'm gonna have a whole new row of clouds here, so it's gonna be the two sides are gonna look similar in that sense. So there won't be as much blue, but there's a big dip over there where I'm gonna need a lot of blue. So I figure I'm just gonna keep adding that blue when I get a chance. And then work from there. So like I said, this will get one more day. I might just do, I've pretty much packed up all the colors, because what I do is as I'm using colors, I leave them out for the 10 days. I have this little ledge right next to a chair where I like to stitch the full coverage, and I just leave them there. It's upstairs. It's if somebody was coming over to use upstairs, I'd clean up obviously, but it's me up here most of the time. Once in a while mow, but for the most part, I spend most of the time up here. So it doesn't matter if I leave it out, but I knew that today was the last day, so I cleaned up everything, but I want to say that's 996. So I think what I'll do is today I'll spend some time putting in some more blue. So you won't see this one again next week. Now what you may or may not see next week, I'm actually, I know, remember, stitching for me, I enjoy the actual stitching of the pieces. The finishing part is whatever to me. I know I think I have 8 full coverages started. There's a couple that this year I haven't really focused on too much. One, because it's very confetti heavy. And what I'm waiting to do, Markup XRP is in the process. They're beta testing right now, their newest update. And their newest update, you can stitch all the pages together. So the one thing that I was waiting for that I wanted with full coverage with Markup RXP is coming in a couple weeks. So I think once I can get into that more, because I really didn't want to do page per page with it. But there is a lot of confetti, at least in that corner. I have no idea. I think it's Christmas shelvy kind of things. It's not Amy Stewart. It's a different company, but similar. So there's a lot of confetti. And I was just getting a little overwhelmed. So I'm waiting for that. For the most part, and there's one other you haven't seen a lot of, just because I wasn't feeling the colors. I like it, but it's a little bit more subdued, which is funny because one of the ones I'm looking potentially to start is very subdued. Both of them are minis that I'm looking at. Both of them are beach related. You can sense a theme for me a lot of times. This week I've gotten to the beach several times, and it's definitely inspired me to kind of look at some of the beachy stuff. One is colorful, one is like sepia tones. So it depends on what I feel like doing. And honestly, it depends. These are my DMCs. It depends what I have in stock right now. In stock, like I'm a store. It's whether or not I have 1 or 2 in there. I mean, let's be honest. But you know, if I start in the left corner, which one I have more DMCs for, that may decide it, because I don't think either one of them are much bigger than the other. So you may see a new start next week of a full coverage. We'll see. I have 3 options. 2 are Heaven and Earths. 1 is from an Etsy shop. So we'll see. Who knows? There might be 3 starts. Not all in 1 week, but in a row. I don't know. Okay. Next, you know, I've been trying to do some more of my Christmas stuff. And so I had pulled out last week. I know I showed you some last week. Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. What I like to do with this one is well, right now I'm picking a house and a tree. And I try to get them done in the course of a week. I'm almost, I think I have 2 more. These little guys are on the back, which are so cute, aren't they? I don't know what their size is. I wonder if I could 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30. Ooh, they could be trading cards actually. And you really wouldn't need to do anything else. That'd be cute. They're also cute as ornaments. But once I get the houses done, then I can start picking X number of trees or little elements, and that will be what I do in the course of a week. And remember, I am not stitching the border. So I did my house and my tree. So there it is. I did this house and I did this tree. So this house is the last house. So all there is left is a big tree. I actually brought this last Friday afternoon. It was nice. Mo was not able to get away. So I grabbed this and I went to the beach. And what I like to do sometimes is I find that my car is actually quite comfortable to stitch in. It's almost more comfortable than some of the chairs here. So I just, you know, I park where I can actually see the beach. There's a little bit of the dunes, but beach erosion. You can actually see more of the ocean now, and you can hear it wonderfully. So I basically park in front of the beach. I put open all my windows. It was warm enough to do so. And I stitched for a couple hours or an hour and a half. I don't remember what it was. Because I was only doing a couple colors, the fact that it wasn't monochromatic was fine, worked for me. But I just was not feeling I would have had to count all the way up here to start this tree. Maybe my counting will be better this week, and maybe I'll attempt that. But I have 2 more houses to do. One here, and then a big house here. That might be an only house week when I do that house. So whether or not I'll start here and work my way down at this point, we'll see. Because there's a tree here, a house here, and then we work here, and then we just come all the way down. It's an 18 count white opal, if you were wondering. And the only other thing, you're going to see all of my windows are open. I'm going to keep them open. I'm not stitching them. I thought it looked cute with the white. So that's where that one is. I don't know. It might be fun leading up to Christmas to continue trying to do little bits of it. So you might continue to see that one. It's not a 25/7 piece. It's more of just, let's pick an element, try to get it done piece. All right. I've got lots of pieces to do yet, so we need to keep moving. You know I like to ramble. Next is my 25/7 piece. So this is Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I'm getting so close. But I have to tell you, thank goodness for the 25/7. So I've been doing that. I can't remember the exact date. As soon as I finished my Shamrock piece, I moved to this one like the next day. And I know it's been over, I did a quick count. It's over 2,200 stitches I've done since I've done the 25/7. But this is a dense pattern. It's not full coverage, but it might as well be. It's a good one if you want to do full coverage without doing full coverage. So I'm getting there. I feel like every time I show you, you're like, well, Laura, that's what it looked like last time. I'm like, no, there's some in the corner. So here it is. Enough talking. 18 count fallen leaf from To Die For Fabrics. And what's nice here is, so the blue was stitched, but down here, all of this green will stay unstitched, which is kind of nice. And all of that inside. So obviously you can be strategic in what you pick, but you don't have to pick green. I know I've mentioned this before. It's been a while though. I saw somebody on one of the Facebook groups. I don't do anything on Facebook, but really just cross stitch stuff. I've pretty much stopped doing anything else, but I can't remember the group now, but somebody did it in a very bright, bold yellow. Not sunshine yellow, more of the gold yellow, you know, the autumn yellow, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. So you certainly could, and don't know if they changed because it was more gold. I think they were okay with, because there's gold, there's yellow trees in here. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it made me second guess my choice of fabric for a little bit, but I'm glad I went with the green. I do like it. So let me fold you down, because up here, all I have to do, I think I have a little back stitch here. These are like supposed to be, I think, hay bales and stuff like that. So I do have back stitching, and then I have a little bit around the porch here. I think there's some back stitching. I'll do that at the end once I have all the X's in. This week, I completely finished this pumpkin. I finished anything that had to go here. One of my least favorite things, I will have to say, of this was the counting required to do all of the branches of all of the trees. So I decided, okay, I have one last tree to do, right? Yeah. Yes. One last tree to do. So I spent all the time, doing that first, because I said, I really, really, really want to get that part done. Now what's going to happen is there's some fencing here and then some more tree. But I was actually able to fill in the top part of that tree all the way as well. I think, yeah, all the way. Those are the little indentations there are fence posts. So as usual, I'm getting close, but there's going to be a lot of changing of colors, because there is the little bit of this house left, some more tree, but the fence posts and all of that. And then I do have one more half of a pumpkin down there. And then there's like a path. See how the pathway is over? Well, it starts up here and then it goes down, and there'll be a little bit more pathway. So I don't think coming at you next week, this will be finished. I think it's going to take me a couple weeks to get that done, because really, I look at what I've stitched and I say, wow, that was a whole week's worth. Yeah, there's a lot of stitches here, but I love it. I cannot wait till it's finished. I can't decide if this will be finished, probably just framed, or just overboard. If it'll be finished to be putting it on my shelves, or to scrapbook it, because they are going to have all 4 seasons. So that might be cool to flip through too. This will be, once it's finished, it's going to go in the sit and think about for a while pile, and we'll go from there. So it's coming along. If you've thought about stitching it, go for it. And if you want to see one in progress, Mary's Stitching Corner, I'm so glad she had a video of this week, because I really enjoy her projects. She posted her progress. She's up more on the top area, but it's looking really good. So if you do not watch her, I'll link her down below and you can check it out. And she has some beautiful, beautiful projects that she works on. So, okay, next. This one got just shy of 500 stitches. And then I looked at it this morning so I could say, okay, I kind of look over my patterns to remind myself what was done. And I had to double check the numbers. I said, and it really was almost 500 stitches, but you wouldn't know it. So this is Carolyns Balloons, the autumn version. I'm finding that I'm really into all of these seasonal versions of things. Between my Jardin Privé sampler, this will be seasonal. Autumn Towne is going to be seasonal. Obviously, it won't be called Autumn Towne. There's a few others. So I guess I like the whole changing of the seasons thing. But that's what it looks like. Jan Hicks creates. And here I am. So what'd you do, Laura, you say? Well, obviously this little house. So I came down this way, and beyond just a little bit of ground, whatever you want to call it, underneath here, that's the bottom. So there may be 4 or 5 more rows, and that's it there. I did that. I got the basket of the balloon in, and then I started just doing little elements. So up here, I have I'm done with the elements, and I have 2/3 of a balloon, because it's going to be one of those borders without a border kind of things. And then we come down that way. So I actually have 2 balloons left. Elements. I have the word autumn to do, and then the little itty bitty town, which is cute. This is an 18 count car wash from Fortnight Fabrics. And I very deliberately picked this piece because I wanted it to look like the balloons were floating in the air. Now, I don't have enough to do all 4. So I might have enough to do another one. I have to see. I don't know. I've cut it up and I put it away. So I'm not sure what I have left of this. This was a fabric of the month, which means I cannot get it again because I think they just dye them for that month and then that's it. So we'll improvise. We'll improvise. I could use Nantucket Sky. It's not quite as variegated as this, but maybe for, say, a winter one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not even done with autumn. She hasn't even created any of those seasons, so we'll see what it looks like when the time comes. I didn't necessarily plan on stitching this guy this week, but he's so cute. Now I'm fast realizing that I don't want to know how many stitches are in this turkey until I'm done. He's huge. This pattern, what you're going to see, I have almost 1,000 stitches into this. And what I have done compared to what I have left to do, this is Turkey Day from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I actually went somewhat traditional. Mine is a bit more yellowy than what you're going to see here, but I did keep it along. It's a yellow, but it's kind of a neutral yellow. I love it. I absolutely love this color. In fact, I ordered another quarter of it, quarter yard, whatever they do, however they call it. I don't know any of that terminology. Ask me about paper crafting measurements, and there I can tell you. A5s, A6s, I can tell you all about all that stuff for sizes. But I ordered some more of this before she shut down the custom order colors for the year. This is 18 count Buttercream from To Die For Fabrics. And it is a wonderful, glorious yellow, in 18 count, remember always 18 count, color that I think any pattern. Oh, I stitched something that I wonder, I bet you'd look good on this too. I'm thinking, the colors just pop on it. So this week what I did was, of course, I wanted to get some of the turkey in. So I got some of most of his head in. It's funny, the picture it looks, oh no, it's more of that red, pinky red. I wanted to get a little bit of him in. I didn't want to just do straight flowers or leaves across. I did fill in, I still have one more giant leaf here. I kind of ran out of time to stitch that. But I've got all the other leaves of the 2 different colors stitched in there. There are 2 colors that are two Gentle Arts. And I'm not using those. I'm using DMC alternatives, and then everything else is in DMC. So it's wonderful to stitch this. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I really like the colors of the pattern, and I really like how the colors of the pattern are looking on this fabric. You will probably see more of this fabric in the future because I could see this as a go-to for a lot of things. Buttercream To Die For Fabrics. Alrighty. Next. I didn't even plan this, but there's a nice little area where, I don't know if it's staying though. I made it easy for myself right now, but, well, I don't know if I'm staying in this position for filming anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. Okay, next. This is the one where I did a start and a stop. I just want to cover the person's address. So I was very kindly gifted the Christmas Ornaments edition from Just Cross Stitch, and it is the 2022. And I decided, I was looking for a pattern to do a trading card for. And these are cute because a lot of them, size-wise, they might work. Or in this case, what I did was I adapted it and I didn't do the full design. So I was looking at this one right here. It is, number 6 is From the Heart, Needle Art by Wendy, and it's called Love and Joy. Now, what I did to make it fit what I think is going to be a great size, I took out the word joy, and I did take out the heart. I really just wanted to focus on the floral element. And what's really nice about this is, you know, it's kind of that poinsettia. We have a debate in the family whether it's poinsettia or poinsettia. I say the poinsettia part. Not everybody agrees with me, but it makes me chuckle. But even though it is clearly that flower, it's December-ish without being Christmassy. So if I were to send this type of trading card to somebody, I wouldn't feel like, well, if they're not going to want it if they don't celebrate Christmas of any sort, or sometimes they may not want that kind of imagery. I made some cute ones anyway, because there's some really cute little pieces, but I thought this was kind of cool because it could be December-ish without being scream a specific holiday. So I first did it on this fabric. It's a neutral. I know I do have some. I don't know the name of it. I don't know who it's from. It's a scrap. Isn't that cute? So it's 18 count. And it actually is quite nice. The colors pop quite nicely on it. I really do like it on those shades. There's 4 colors, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 colors of floss. And I was able to stitch this up in a day. It is just over 400 stitches without the heart and the words. And so I just buckled down and I did it. And then I was kind of intrigued with the idea of how would it look on something else? And it's easy, it's quick. I could stitch up a bunch of these so that I would have, they're just ready to go. And whether or not I trade them this year or I trade them at some other point with people, they're stitched, they're ready. They're cute. And I don't know if I would do it in this color and do the full part. I could see making an ornament and doing the full ornament. I think it's really cute. I'm not sure what color I do it in because I also stitched it in that. This is 18 count fallen leaf. It's got a little scrap of paper here that says that. So I know it from To Die For Fabrics. I wouldn't have known if this was fallen leaf or honeydew melon otherwise. So if I put the two together, that's what they look like on 2 different shades of fabric. They both look wonderful in different ways and depending on what kind of look you're looking for. So I really like that. And then I was thinking in my head, I'm intrigued by what the buttercream, what it would look like on the buttercream. I think the red and the green would really pop and the gold would show up nicely. So I may, depending on, I gotta see what I have for, I've used that buttercream on 2 projects now, so I have to see what I have left. But here we go. 2 different shades of fabric. 1 neutral, 1, I mean, this is not crazy green, but it's not neutral. Same exact pattern, but they definitely have 2 different vibes. I will stitch this for an ornament for myself at some point. On what color or shade, I have no idea. I kind of like it on the green too, but I don't know. So anyway, those are my 2. I have an idea of maybe how I want to finish them, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it'll work or how good it'll look, if it look kind of yucky. So at some point I'll play around with finishing those up too. Okay. So I'm going to put that there without letting all of that fall. Okay, that pile's getting big. Next, you're going to see that buttercream again. This is the set. Let me show you the set first. Autumn Gnomes by Wonderland, Ukraine. And so today is, what is today? Today is November 11th. And for 31 more hours, so by the time this gets uploaded, because you know how YouTube does not like to play well with my Wi-Fi, it'll probably still be 24 hours. Their patterns are 40% off. So this set of 3 patterns is $5.40. Now I am stitching the November guy, which is this one with the brown hat and pumpkin. And I am not stitching the box around him. So let me show you what he looks like. There he is. These are good sized gnomes. These are not tiny. But I only have the front part. So 18 count Buttercream from To Die For Fabrics again. And I just love these colors. So I did a lot of filling in the hat. He's totally done. There's no little extra stitches anywhere there. And then I did some more really filling in with the flowers. Aren't those pretty colors? Oranges, reds, those kind. There'll be some yellow, like the kind of bright yellowish in there as well. I'm loving it. I love these designs. I think they're cute. And I'm not necessarily like a gnome person per se, but I think they're cute. I mean, I don't have strong feelings one way or the other about them, but I'm enjoying stitching them. I'm enjoying these patterns. They have the gnomes for pretty much everything. The Christmas ones are, the hats and the Christmas ones are gorgeous. They have Valentine's. I do have the St. Patrick's Day ones. They have Easter, Christmas. Did I say Christmas? Spring. I mean, they have pretty much all. They have ones that are, you've seen my sunflower one that I have started as well. Just a whole bunch. So a lot of fun if you were thinking about it. And it'll be a good size. These will all be scrapbooked. I think they'd be cute in a scrapbook. You know, I would put them one page after, you know, one design after the other in the scrapbook eventually when they're done. So there's that one. Okay, next we're going to take a quick detour from stitching. I have 2 more projects to show you after that, but I spent an afternoon, instead of stitching, I spent an afternoon making a scrapbook page. And I'm on a roll with the smalls. And so this is another, oh gosh darn it, I forgot to measure. I wanted to look up the size of this album. This is the album from scrapbook.com. There's my front page. Went totally out of my head until I'm sitting here again. I keep calling it a 6x8, but I know it's not, because I know I have to cut this is the back side. I cut this 6 plus 2 notches. I have it all set on, you know, on my I have a guillotine cutter. And then this gets 8.5, I want to say. So I have to look it up to give you the official size of the scrapbook. But here we go. I'm just going to keep it in the... So this week I decided just to play with... They're not stickers, actually. They are I'll say die cuts. Yeah, that's the best way to call them. They're die cuts. So this is the Autumn Harvest pattern by, it's going to escape me. If at any point when I'm doing any of the scrapbook stuff, if there's something you want to know about that I don't go back and look to see where that is. I stitched this one a while ago, but I can look if I need to give you the name of it. It's cute. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. And so I matted it in some, I want to say that's probably, it's not coffee. It's a lighter brown from Stampin' Up. And this is actually just, it's cardstock, but it's not the thicker, it's not as thick. Some of them are thinner than others, but it's a good size base. And really, once they're in this, it doesn't really matter anyway. And then Simple Stories is where I got all of these from. It's a company that does different, they do paper, they do washi tape, they do die cuts, they do stickers, they do all sorts of things. And you can see them in multiple places. One of them is scrapbook.com. I also particularly like shopping from Frantic Stamper. I think she does a fantastic job with customer service. Those are the 2 main ones that I have really looked at when I want to get some of the scrapbook stuff. There are other places you could shop, but those are the 2 that I gravitate to more often than not. But these were all pieces. There was a set of different die cuts for a fall design, and I just played around with them and I put them out like that. And I just used my double-sided tape to attach them. My scrapbook piece is got interfacing on the back, and then I used double-sided tape to attach it from there. And once it's in the page protector, then I don't worry about it, you know, because it's in there nice and, I mean, you can move it up, you can move them out and everything if you need to, but it's in there snugly. It's not going to get people touching it or whatever. It's in there. And these are made for scrapbooking, and the whole idea of acid free and free of this and free of that. And I mean, they're free of a whole whatever. So I'm not particularly worried. And honestly, I'm not particularly worried either way. They'll be fine in here. And I haven't done it on the back, but I will put the information of the pattern and the fabric and all that kind of stuff. And then there'll be another piece here, so it'll cover it up anyway. There's nothing really I would want to journal about this, so it would really have just the bare bones information on the back of that. So here's a quick and easy way. I have a cardstock base and a cardstock that I just layered it on just to kind of give a contrast of colors, and then some die cuts. The biggest thing was just trying to decide which ones I wanted to use where, and then boom, they're on. So there we go. That's my scrapbook page. Okay. You know what? I'll put it by the scrapbook right there. Okay. I have two more. This one I was having trouble counting with. So this one only got a couple hundred stitches because I kind of had to put it away. I really want to get this guy done. Santa's Revisited 2. I'm doing 1991, which is this guy right here. I have done these other two, so he's my last one to do. So I pulled him out. I said, that's it. Let's get some work done on him. And I got a little bit of work, and then I just had to put it away. So first off, I had not been making working copies of these, which in some cases is fine. But when you start to get to the snowmen, I don't know. I really feel like I'm surprised that I feel like I would have gotten them done a little bit faster if I had a working copy, because there's a lot to kind of pay attention to. So I remedied that situation and made myself a working copy so I can highlight and mark off. It still wasn't helping with my counting, so he got put away. There he is. This is 18 count Jade from Picture This Plus. This is also, Picture This Plus is my least favorite fabric, I would say, just because it is so floppy. In fact, now I stitch in hand, always have. That's how I learned. And I don't know, when I came back, I just did it that way. I'm actually considering getting, what are the, not the hoop, what's the other thing called? I'm thinking, I don't even know what it's called. I'm thinking of getting something where I can put the fabric in it, so I'm not stitching in hand, because it is so floppy, and the squares, they pull a lot more than a lot of my other, I mean, this right here, it's night and day for me, stitching this one versus this one. But I do like them on this fabric. I've done two already. There's the two from that book. So Picture This Plus has some pretty fabrics, and I do have some, you know, some of the colors. But I think maybe if I put something in something where it tightens it up, maybe it'll be easier for me to stitch, and then I'll enjoy Picture This Plus a little bit more. I did have to change. I don't like Prairie Schooler face colors. I want to say it's almost mauve, the one that was chosen here. That wasn't working for me. I did do, on these two, I did one shade, which I can't think of off the top of my head, but I can look it up if I need to. I just saw a moving truck go by. There's a house, two moving trucks. Somebody's moving in today. There was one house that had just sold. It's kind of across the street, but not really. There's like a little green, and then, so people are moving in. All right, anyway, sorry for the distraction. That window outside is where a lot of times I stitch, so then I can see what's going on out there. if I want to be nosy. But I couldn't use that color with this because this guy, the trim of his hat and his coat are more beigey. So the color I was using for the face wasn't looking good. I'd have to go through all the, I don't have the flosses available to see which one it is. I can look it up if I need to, but that's what he looks like that way. My brain feels scattered today. I did eat breakfast. I knew I needed to do something before filming, but so I did some more just of the cuff there, quickly realizing I needed to make a working copy, which I did. And then I did some of this and then some up here. But I think I may get something to put this fabric in and try stitching in another way besides stitching in hand and seeing if I like it better. So we'll see. I think a lot of people have talked about that Nourish brand. So I might try those and see what they're like and give it a go. Alrighty, very last one. And you're like, thank God, Laura, because you're at 45 minutes and you're still showing stitching. Barbara Anna. I had no plans whatsoever to stitch her. And then yesterday, Wednesday, I don't remember. Might have been Wednesday. I was just flipping through and I said, I want to stitch her. So I did. And here we go. This is 18 count Night Fever from Fortnight Fabrics. And except for a little bit over here on her cuff, she's done. And then I started to come over here and do some of that fish. And then we have rays from the sun. There are bubbles back stitched that I skipped over for now. I will worry about that probably later. So she didn't get a ton of stitching, but I enjoyed stitching her the day I did. I love the colors. I love how she looks on this fabric. I just wanted to go in a completely different direction, and I love it. And I do like Fortnight fabrics, the feel of their fabrics. So that's always a joy to stitch too. So that's it. That's my stitching. I know. Lots and lots of stitching. Plans. I ironed and pulled out all of my pieces that would be things that I could make Christmas ornaments out of. I went to Michael's and I picked up a tree. I want to say through tomorrow, the 12th. I am not sure about that, so please don't take my word for it. 100% go look. They have a tree sale, so all their trees were 50% off. And so I picked up a tree for up here. I have it out of the box, and now, do you know when you go by, every time you go by, you got to fluff a little bit because, you know, it's been sitting in a box all done like that. So there's a lot of fluffing that still needs to get done on that tree. I do it and then I'm like, oh, I don't like what I did. And then I redo it and all that stuff. But anyway, I bought that. So I said, well, I should probably start to finish some of these ornaments. I was going to the other day and I realized I didn't take my glue gun down here. I have glue sticks galore. So maybe I have the glue gun here somewhere and I just really have no idea which container it's in. That's possible. But I ordered one from Amazon. It's expected to come tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can get some glue gunning done. We'll see. So that is some of my plans. And then I might try to start a full coverage. We'll see. Other than that, I don't know. Autumn Town, obviously, I want to continue. Everything else is up in the air. All right, happy mail. I got a very, very cute thank you card from Deborah. Isn't that adorable? I love it. I love it. There is a way. So it's, you know, you've got a die cut and then you've got the stuff inside. There is a way I could make something like this. If you have like a stamping Misty or a stamp positioner. But I'm not sure I'm patient enough to do it. But it is adorable. I love it, love it, love it. All these things always give me ideas and creative thoughts. So I keep all of these cards and use them sometimes just to look at for either color combinations or design elements or something. So there's always, you're always inspiring me, whether you realize it or not. And then I got a trading card. This is so cool. This is from Becky. And what she did was really cool because I've been doing the main element, and I still am. You saw the two that I stitched. She went in a slightly different direction, and it is gorgeous. Look at this. Excuse me. I just swallowed a dust ball or something. Okay. So, and she put some information back here. The border design, she just made it up. How cool is that? I mean, literally just made it up. That's beautiful. She made up the border design and she stitched it on 14 count oatmeal. She added a little bit of ribbon at the top and the bottom to kind of add a border. And then she herself did the calligraphy on parchment. Isn't that awesome? And she made the word create. I love everything about this. And a whole nother idea of way of to do things. Making a border. Putting something in the middle. I think it's beautiful. So Becky, thank you so much for giving this a try. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked doing it. And I have to reach out. You know who you are, who offered to help me try to do a swap in the new year. We have to touch base at some point. And let's see, you need to teach me how to do swaps because I've never hosted one. And maybe in the coming year, if anybody's interested in participating, we can do some sort of swap. Wouldn't that be fun? I think that'd be fun. And it'd give you a chance just to kind of do a little something different. So that's my happy mail. My shopping. I have a fabric of the month, and then I did a little shopping of my own. So I actually have 3 fabrics to show you because poor Fortnight fabric. If you pay attention to their Flosstube, you know it wasn't this past one, which they just put out. It was, I think, at Flosstube ago or something or other. They were doing a fabric of the month club through somewhere else. It didn't work out so well. I'm not surprised. I had trouble with that company of some other thing that I would not go back to. And I think everything came to a head. So they weren't able to get one of the September fabrics done. And so they had a little note right on in September when they sent the stuff saying it was coming with your October. And sure enough, when October came, they're very responsible. I had no question that this was going to be, it would work out okay. So this is the September fabric of the month for the Groovy Gradients group. It's just called September. I don't remember. I could go back. On their invoices, they do say the names. It's gorgeous. Look at this. Now, in certain shades, it looks blue. In certain shades, it looks gray. And then there is a shade of gray with blue there too. I am so sad they're not doing this club again, the gradients. Their gradients have been beautiful. I have loved every single one of them. And I'm really, really sad that it's a lot of work. I mean, I enjoy the fruits of it, but you got to sit there and experiment and play. I get it, but I love them. So that was the September one. It was a nice little extra surprise I got. Now, October, I get a little piece of the opal. If you do not want to see it, it's 18 count Aida, and it is Ghost Nebula. Oh, this light's not doing justice. Let's see. Isn't that pretty? That's really, really pretty. And then, don't look yet if you don't want to see. This one is actually fairly unmodeled and one color for them. I like the color though, so I am not complaining. Do not tell them I was complaining because I'm not. Look at this. It's called Groove Thing. They used, I want to say 70s titles for all of these this year. Isn't that beautiful? And it is pretty solid, I have to say, but I love it because you know I love this shade. Okay, you can look back if you want. So that is the fabric of the month. I only have 2 more months left. I can't believe it. The year has gone by. 2 more months of that Fabric of the Month Club. And then I'm going to be sad. No more Groovy Gradients. Then I blame Carla, from Carla Being Crafty, from this. Carla, it's your fault. You made me spend money. So Carla likes to shop at Fabric by Rolanda, Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And she's an Etsy shop. And Carla always shows such beautiful fabrics. And so I just went and checked it out. So Rolanda, what she does is she doesn't do like, here's an example, I'll dye it when you order it. She just dyes things up, different counts, different kinds of fabric. And so that's ready to ship. What you see is what you buy. So there's no name or anything to it. Of course, you know, if I see a blue, right? Look at how pretty that is. That's 18 count Aida. I saw this. I said, oh, you know, because, you know, I don't have enough blues, right? So I had to pick this up. I haven't stitched on any of, this is probably my second Rolanda fabric. I haven't stitched on them yet, but this is blue. You know I'll have a chance to use it. Ooh, the balloons might look nice on this. Like the spring and the summer. Oh, they might look nice because you can see almost, it's not as distinct as the car wash, but it does look like white clouds a bit. Oh, look at that. See? If you just think about it for a little bit, it comes to you. And then, I don't know why I did this. Well, I got a couple extra for you guys. It's not a giveaway this week, but it's because I want to do nice things for others. That I bought some flosses, variegated dyed, over-dyed flosses. I don't use over-dyed flosses, but I bought them anyway because they were so pretty. And there'll be some point, little patterns I will start using them for. I promise. I won't just collect them. So I picked up, there's 5 different shades. And some of them are kind of Christmas-y. This one's called Empress Teal. Where is that? You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use the Buttercream. So this one's called Empress Teal. Oh, not that side. And then this one is another green. This one is color number 15. So I want to say this may not be in her regular line potentially. A few of them are numbered, so I wonder if she does them on a regular basis and that's part of her line. So this one is definitely more light green, like the pineish light green, and then that's a deep green. So I got those 2. And then along the theme of, this goes nicely with this. Look at these 2. It's called Deep Garnet. Look at that with the deeper green. Isn't that pretty? That's really nice. I like those 2 together. Then, you know, I thought this was kind of nice. It's almost snow-like-ish. So that's number 24. And then lastly, number 16. And it is kind of grays, but a really lovely set of shades. So I know you're rolling your eyes at me at the moment. I'm kind of rolling my eyes at myself, but I bought some of these. I won't be buying a lot of variegated floss on a regular basis because I love my DMC. I love my DMC and I love how they work and how they look. So I'm not giving them up. I'm not. But every once in a while, it'll be nice to throw something in, I guess. So those are what I picked up. And then that's it. That's it for the shopping. I got a notice. Poor Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics. I got a notice. I don't even remember what month it is. Things snowballed for her. So I have an old Fabric of the Month, and she hasn't done any since because, you know, she's not going to charge you for something that you're not going to be able to get in a long time. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then I have some sprays, some scrapbook sprays, the mica sprays. I ordered some of those because I really want to use some of those as backgrounds for my scrapbook pages because I think that would be really cool. Do a mica spray and you could almost just put your piece on it depending on what it looks like. So that would be nice and easy to do. So I did order some of those. And that's it. That is the shopping that I know of coming. You never know, right? Okay, so giveaway stuff. Let's talk. First off, I did not hear last week, so I'm going to give one more week. This is why I peep the names in with the giveaways. This is We Santa 2020. Anna, Jan. I want to know how to say your last name. I'm intrigued. I want to know. Anna, you have Anna, I apologize. You have one more week to get back to me. If I don't hear from you by my next video, I will pick a new winner. Okay, so that was the old giveaway, and let's put Anna's name back in here because that's hers for now. This week, what I was doing was I was giving away ribbons / trims, whatever you want to call them. So we have, these are all one of them is 1/8 of an inch, and or two of them are, and one is 3/8 of an inch. Which, like, I'm just thinking about some small ornaments that I have. I think these would be a beautiful size, a wonderful size. So we have black and white, and then I went with the colors of the fall, and we have orange and yellow, and it's double-faced, so you can choose whichever one you want. And then, and again, these will all be neat to whoever I send to. They're just in the area. Isn't this the most adorable rickrack you have ever seen? Is a little teeny tiny, probably 1/8 of an inch rickrack in a wonderful orange. That's a lot of fun. So those were this week's giveaway, and I asked you just to put the number 3 in your comment anywhere, and mixing them around so that everybody, oh, I'm feeling it's really raining. I feel bad for those people moving in today. Hopefully their stuff doesn't get too wet. Okay. And our winner is, who's our winner? Alice Park. Congratulations, Alice. If you could get back to me and put it against my Rolanda fabric. If you could get back to me with your address, I will send those out to you. Okay. So with the trims, I want to make sure I put Alice's name right on top so we know. Okay. So put that over there for now. And then this week. And as a reminder for giveaways, please be 18 or older so that I can get your address. Please don't say giveaway or free or any of those types of words. And I would appreciate it if you're a subscriber. No, you do not have to be public. Just please be a subscriber. I'm taking your word for that. Okay, so weather has been really nice, but we're told by the weather people that Sunday night we might get our very first hard frost. So basically the warning was, if you have any outdoor plants you don't want to die, bring them inside. Plants don't like me. I love plants. They run scared from me, so I have nothing to bring in. But it made me think of, as I was deciding what to do for a giveaway, I thought about this first frost pattern. Well, I flipped through and I said, oh, that'd be kind of cool because we're having our first frost in a couple days. Hands-on design. And there's 2 patterns. So there's the deer with that, and then there's a row of houses. So there's 2 small patterns in that. And I would just like you to say the word frost. Anywhere in your comment, however, you can just put it by itself. Doesn't matter. The word frost. And then I will choose a winner next video. And this would be a lot of fun to maybe do bits and pieces of for either an ornament or for a trading card or something else. That'd be cute, like the deer with the tree or something or other. I have this pattern myself, so you may see that. Okay, so that's this week's giveaway. And that's it for the stitching part. I talk a lot about stitching, don't I? If you do not want to hear anything about life, again, not much going on, then I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Life stuff, well, like I said, I went to the beach on Friday afternoon, which was really nice, just to get some stitching in. And then this week, I was shocked. The weather was gorgeous. So if you saw, I bet you'd be shocked too. I actually put a picture on my story on Instagram, which I never do, right? I love looking at other people's stuff on Instagram. I'm a fail at putting stuff up myself. But my head was, I think it's this, it's cold, it's warm, it's cold, it's warm. My head was foggy this week. I'm kind of headachy. I think it's just all this stuff. So I decided I needed to clear the cobwebs out of my head, and I went down to the boardwalk. I did a walk, and then I came back, and at the end, there's a little area where there's some rocks, nothing major. I sat on the rocks for a little bit and I just listened to the ocean for a little bit, got some fresh air, cleared out the cobwebs, and I took a little picture, or I took a little video, I think was it, right? So I've spent, and I think there was another day I went, did I go with Mo? I don't remember. I've spent a few days this week at the boardwalk. I really like taking walks there. And it's not been super windy, so it's not been, honestly, yesterday I had a short sleeve shirt on. No, I had a jacket around my waist, but I did not need it in the least. It was downright hot in the sun, actually. So, so I've been enjoying that as well. You know, not just hanging out at the ocean, but I like taking the walks down there. I mean, I can take them around my neighborhood, that's fine. But it's nice down there, so. And there was a lot of people. It was kind of fun seeing everybody around on a stray afternoon in November. So anyway, what else have I done? We changed the clocks this weekend. I don't sleep well anyway, so I can't say, I find as I get older, I struggle a bit more with the change. You'd think it's only an hour, right? I mean, how different can it be? I struggle, I have to say, but this year I did pretty good in the sense of it wasn't as obvious, but then like I said, I was up at 4 a.m. this morning. It wouldn't have mattered if we had changed the clocks or not. So I'm just getting myself adjusted to that, and the pitch dark at night. By 5:30, it is dark as gonna get. And then I just get tired. So, you know, like we eat our dinner fairly early because, you know, you want to eat and then give your body time to digest before you go to bed type of thing. And we don't go to bed late. So, you know, we usually have an earlier dinner on the earlier side, and then we're done for the night. And so dinner's done, you're comfortably full, and it's pitch dark, and the next thing you know, you're like, okay, is it time for bed? No, it's only 7 o'clock. So I'm finding the nights a little long right now. I mean, I can stitch, and sometimes I do, but I think I have to adjust to the light, because I'm finding the dark is my signal that I'm to get really tired. So we're working on that. Not there yet, but we're working on it. Other than that, not too much. Not really. I think, yeah, I don't think much at all. I had a chiropractor's appointment. That was about it, which was really needed that day. It's funny how things work out where I just was having all sorts of issues, and that was the day of my appointment. I said, oh, that was perfect. But, and I've got this whole thing of exercises that I've got to do along with my foam rolling and this and that. So, you know, we're working on it, right? Everything is a work in progress, including ourselves. So, I'm doing a lot more of that and not just stitching. That's it. That's really it. You know, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, like I said, in a couple weeks, trying to figure out who's coming when. I said to Mo this weekend, we really need to sit down and just write down everything we're going to cook so that I can start planning when I'm buying things and stuff like that. The house needs a really good clean. So that's going to have to get done. And that's about it. You know, I think it's just kind of getting ready for the holiday season. We're going to get really cold. Sunday into Monday, really cold. So I think today, even with the rain, I mean, you're not going to feel it because I think it's supposed to be 70, but it's going to be raining. High 60s, low 70s. And it was high 60s, low 70 yesterday. Last Sunday, it was 80 degrees. It was warm. It was really warm. I think that set records. And then I think the high for either Monday or Tuesday is like 48. So again, all this back and forth. So I'm going to find myself kind of hunched inside a little bit more, getting ready for the holiday, maybe getting some stitching in. I do want to do a little kind of Christmas thing. I'm not one that necessarily jumps over Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving. It's Mo's favorite holiday out of all the holidays. And I enjoy it. We've always really had lovely Thanksgivings. But, you know, I mean, for crafting purposes, I'm excited about having a tree up here. And so I have all those stitches that I think I'd like to try to work on and finish. And simple. I'm I am a simple finisher girl. You know that. You can tell by what I've done and what I haven't done. I leave all the bows and everything else to the people that can actually do them and look good. I am a failure at bows. I have always been. I always do. When I do cards, I would do knots instead of bows because I could make a good looking knot, but I could never make a good looking bow. So that's not going to change when I start doing these. It's going to be pretty much, I did get some very thin batting. So I think on some of them, I'm going to put some batting just to make it a little poofier, and then put it over the board, and then put some string and some felt, and good, boom, you're good to go. I think that could very well be what a lot of them look like in the end. So, especially on the little Hirschner's tree, those have to be small. You can't make them big and elaborate because they'd only get like 2 on them. So I've separated in some ways which ones would fit on that and then which ones would go on the main tree. And then I want to pull out some of my other handcrafted ornaments and maybe look at Pinterest. I'm feeling the need to do some sort of crafty craft. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I am just in holiday prep mode. Gotta clean my house mode and just get ready. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hopefully. Sadly, I don't think my mother's gonna come down this year. Mom broke her wrist the end of the summer, and she's just too nervous about it, and I don't want to make her uncomfortable and not feel comfortable. So I think she'd enjoy herself, but I'm not going to force her. I'll see her at Christmas instead. We're going up to there for Christmas. So that's just a disappointment. My in-laws will be here, and then the kids and stuff. But, you know, you got to roll with the punches. I have to make sure she feels comfortable. And if the traveling and being away from her place is not going to make her feel good, then I'm not going to force it. But, you know, you adapt, right? And, that's it. That's all I got. So I hope you were well. I hope you were safe. Oh, my Florida friends, I hope everything was okay after this last storm. I hope you're happy, and I hope your life is filled with as much ease as possible. I hope you have the best week available to you. And until next time, happy stitching.